Understanding genetic ancestry, myths and realities. People who talk about passing on their genes and their genetic heritage are lacking knowledge. Even if you are a descendant of Shakespeare, the likelihood of possessing any of his DNA is minimal. This is because autosomal DNA gets passed on randomly. Shakespeare's offspring likely possessed 50% of his DNA. His descendant, on average, would inherit a quarter, and so forth. In the span of 10 generations, Shakespeare's DNA has disseminated and recombined to such an extent that it is no longer even really meaningful to speak of a match. The majority of humans possess an identical set of genes. Nonetheless, distinct populations exhibit differing frequencies and prevalences of gene expressions. Genes associated with dark hair are found in Asian ethnicities, including Native Americans, as well as in European populations. Epigenetics is the branch of genetics that deals with changes to DNA that alter levels of gene expression without altering the DNA sequence itself. Many epigenetic signals are known as post-translational modifications. By and large, these modifications occur at the site of gene transcription and ultimately determine whether a gene is overexpressed, underexpressed, or expressed at all. These epigenetic modifications can permanently turn genes off when they are deemed entirely unnecessary. Modifications such as these can be activated and deactivated based on particular environmental stimuli, be that stimuli from within the cell itself or externally, for example, too much sunlight, not enough food, etc. Perhaps most importantly, whilst epigenetic modifications are heritable, they can be passed on to offspring. They can also be very readily reversed. Ancestry reports only quantify the frequency of gene expressions and categorize individuals into groups such as Caucasian, African, etc. It does not extend beyond 3,000 years. An individual identifying as Italian today may have identified as a Gaul 2 millennia ago and engaged in conflict against the Romans. However, such barriers are essentially fictitious. It is more a matter of description than of science. Conversely, the multitude of our forebears necessitates that we share them among ourselves. Furthermore, we do not share any DNA with the overwhelming majority of them. Indeed, while you will share Y chromosome DNA or mtDNA with very distant ancestors, these represent an exceedingly small fraction of your overall heritage.